Yo, what's up? Big Homies Podcast, NBA Playoff Edition. Playoffs? Playoffs? I'm your boy, Coach C Bell. I got my dog in the
I'm your boy
building.
TFletch500 in the building. Let's go. I'm amped. Let's go, Lakers.
C
Let's do
Flex
this. Let's do this.
500. Hey,
Yeah,
that boy.
Bell, what's up with you, man?
Hey, I'm good, man. That boy is hyped up. The Lakers that fucked around and went 2-0. That boy that threw on that
Let's
Laker hat.
do it.
That boy, that boy ain't driving the speed limit. You can't tell him nothing right now.
Hey, all week I got to drive the speed limit of how I was mashing today, man. I got to, you got to kind of have that balance, especially with us being Libras. You got to have that balance.
Right. Yeah, you
Yeah,
got
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
because anything else, man, you gonna get your electric car, man, towed, or somebody gonna put it in the impound, man. They're gonna take it. They're gonna revoke your driver's license.
You would have thought I was pushing American muscle the way I was moving on that PCH today.
Hey, rightfully so, because
It was
we
ugly.
got a lot to talk about. Rightfully so. And this is a playoff edition. I like it because we gonna get right into it. We're gonna get right into it, man. But shout out to
Have
those
you seen
Lakers,
a more
man.
exciting first round than this? Have you seen an exciting first round like this? We only played 2 games, and this I feel like it's been one for the books.
For me, I haven't seen a more unpredictable first round. It's like, what are we
Okay,
watching? Are we watching the NCAA tournament or is this the NBA
right.
playoffs? And
You said it's a
it's
movie.
it's storylines galore, bro. So I wanted to start it off, man, kick it off late. First off, just real quick, because we got to for the hometown team. Shout out to the Lakers, man. Up 2-0.
Big shout out.
We're not gonna spend a whole lot of time on it. But for me, I just want to add this, and I always talk adjustment. So the Houston Rockets, they got to figure it out. Like where they're losing this series, they're struggling to shoot the ball. Like they're
Yeah.
struggling tremendously shooting the ball. And to me, if you're not making shots, it's hard to win the series. And they just got to go OD on driving the ball to the rim, trying to finish. They got to figure out a way to score in transition. They got to find mismatches. They got to get Luke Kennard in situations to try to attack him. They got to get Kevin Durant, who's older now, to try to go downhill versus him. They got to try to get to the rim, get some layups. They got to get to the free throw line. But the shooting hasn't been great at all. And then on the flip side, the Lakers been shooting the crap out of the ball. Luke Kennard is, balling out of control. They had 3 players, I believe 3 guys with 20 points or more, and it's just, they're rolling, and that's what you want. You got to feel good about that. If you got Luka Doncic, who's not in right now, not playing. You got Austin Reed, he's not playing right now, and to get those wins, and to me, I personally think this is a series. Regardless, I thought the Lakers should win, but you always want to take care of home, and then you go on the road 2-0. But don't sleep because Ime Udoka is not the kind of guy that's going to let his team quit and go away. And Kevin Durant, NBA champion, he's not going to quit and go away. They just have to make some adjustment, and they're going to have some guys step up.
No, I definitely agree with you on the fact that Houston is not knocking down shots. Game one, they had 27 more shots than the Lakers. They just weren't hitting them. So it's not like the shots aren't there, but there were some small offensive adjustments that I appreciated. It's hard to get those driving lanes when you got Shane gluing on the block like that. I do think that KD needs to get off the ball more and probably get some opportunities created for him. But that's what happens when Van Fleet goes down. They don't have a true point guard like that, so they have those struggles. Now on the other side, we have 2 true point guards. Marcus Smart, like you said, 2 shows ago, one of the best pickups in the offseason that we possibly could have had. He had Magic Johnson like numbers in his last game, and Luke Kennard is arguably filling the role of AR-15. He's looking great out there right now, and I appreciate it because we need somebody to step up because LeBron James is doing a hell of a job, but nobody can do it alone, and LeBron James is putting on the performance of a lifetime. He's tapped into Cleveland/Miami LeBron, And I love it. I love it. I love to see it, and I hope they can get it going. But like you said, the series is going back to Houston, and I feel like now the series actually starts. The series didn't start until Game 3 and Game 4 when we arrived in Houston. So let's see what we got going from here. But right now, I'm happy we up 2-0. It's better than being down 2-0.
Yeah, no doubt. So while we're there, we might as well touch on it while we're there. Friday, all right, in H Town, one of my favorite cities. One of my favorite cities. Shout out to H Town. What are your predictions? What are you thinking for Game 3 between the Rockets and the Lakers?
My biasness is going to have the Lakers win by single digits or in overtime. However, the win comes, I don't care as long as we get a W. But if I had to bet the house on it, I'm rolling with Houston simply because the first game at home they're down two, and if we're being honest, it's a must-win game for them. The all the pressure is on Houston, right? And so I think it's going to be a situation where you see people that we haven't really seen step up for Houston, and you're going to get some bench play. Kevin Durant's going to have a great game. You know, he finally came back, and you know he had his first game back since the injury, so I didn't expect him to put up 40 or anything like that. But he's probably going to look like vintage KD. And if it gets out of control by the third quarter, the Lakers might be like, okay, let them have this one, and it might be a blowout. So I'm gonna predict that the Lakers win by single digits or in overtime. And if it's not like that type of game, they lost by 20. It's going to be one or the other.
Yeah, man. I feel like I agree with you. I think that Houston is going. I think Houston's going to take care of business. It's a must-win game, and I don't see Ime Udoka backing out of this one, trying to get an early vacation. So they're going to scratch and fight and claw and do what they need to do. I am hoping. Can we see Dorian Finney-Smith finally playing this series? Let him out there. Let him see. Let's see what he can do. Let's see him because he's got the playoffs experience. Man, he's been there. You know, his years with Dallas, he played in a lot of big time playoff games. I believe he played in a conference final as well. So I would love to see Feeney Smith get an opportunity. Just they're gonna have to reach down into the bench. Clint Capella, can he play more minutes and provide some for them? You know, just rolling to the rim, getting some easy buckets, getting some rebounds, maybe rim protection. They're gonna have to use that lineup. And you know, like I said, guys are gonna have to step up. I want to see a big game from Jabari Smith Jr. And when I say big, I mean not 16, 17, 18 points. I'm saying 25 points. Can we get a 25-point outing from him? You know, can we get a 20-point game from Amin Thompson? You know what I'm saying? Guys are going to have to step up. It can't be a Durant ISO game. It has to be guys, you know, doing their part because KD gonna get his. We know that, but can other guys, you know, step up and they got to do a good job defensively. They got to do a better job defensively. The Lakers call fire from the 3-point line, which is how JJ wants to play. They got to defend that 3-point line, which means if they do a good job of that, they got to also rebound. All right, they got to rebound, and then they also got to have second and third efforts on the defensive end.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Dorian Finney-Smith call because that's the reason why you sign a guy like that. With his, I think he put up some great numbers when he was even with Denver, even with the Lakers. Great numbers, clutch player, veteran that's been there before. And you're right, Clint Capella's a guy that's probably going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder just because of what DeAndre Ayton said about him earlier in the year. Talking about I'm not DeAndre Ayton. So when I'm getting in the game, you know, I might even get a couple of early fouls just to send a message if I'm Clint Capella like, hey, homie, you not me. You're right. You're not me.
Uh, man, I expect one of them
Right. All
elbows.
day.
You
All
feel me?
day.
You already know. You already know. So, hey, I want to kind of switch gears and move along here a little bit and just discuss Thursday. Thursday matchups, man, is going to be pretty interesting. And I know you want to talk about this. The New York
Here we go.
Knicks head to the
The Knickerbocker.
A-Town. Hey,
I feel like
man.
this series also just getting started too.
It's just getting started, and rightfully so. Starting in New York at the Madison Square Garden, man. And how about C.J. McCollum, man, going in there
Mm.
putting on an absolute show in both games. I know they didn't win game one, obviously, but I mean, he's been on a tear, and I'm pretty sure that the Knicks as a group they gotta talk about him, how they can contain him a little bit more.
The one thing that I get nervous about is situations like this when players don't produce and people like Mike Brown get let go after 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like this could be Mike Brown's last chance. Now I do think the Knicks win the series, but I think we discussed last episode or last show. The Atlanta Hawks do not look afraid of the New York Knicks. There is no fear factor there at all whatsoever. And when you got a team that's not afraid of you and they going at you, it can be a long series. And right now, I could easily see this series going to 7 because you got to win in Atlanta to actually steal home court back. And Atlanta's not going to be a easy place to win and an easy environment to win in, especially with CJ McCollum playing the way he's playing. The Knicks are like they literally don't have an answer for CJ McCollum. Nobody can guard this guy, right? So I do think the best player is Jalen Brunson in this series, but the most important player is Karl Anthony Towns. And if Karl Anthony Towns can play lights out, they could easily win this series. Well, I wouldn't even say easy. They could win this series, but I don't know, man. Atlanta playing with a chip on their shoulder, different type of swag. It's like the side piece that want more attention. Like they gunning for it. They gunning for the top spot.
Spicy, spicy.
Hey, you used to have those problems back in the day before
Hey, hey, one thing's for sure. When you came in with that hat on, I knew you meant business.
you knew it was
Hey,
going down,
so
huh?
so I just think though, in terms of adjustments for Game Three, and look, and Jalen Brunson's a hell of a player. I would like to see the Knicks play through Karl Anthony Towns more, because I'm looking at Karl Anthony Towns. He shot the ball 12 times. He was 8 for 12. That's pretty good. 8 for 12 is pretty good. But it's something about when you have your point guard, which I get, we're in a different day and age. Your point guard shoots the ball 14 more times than your big, who's known as a scorer. Who I look at the Atlanta Hawks. Who do they have that can guard Karl Anthony Towns?
That's the biggest mismatch in the entire series, right there.
So to me, and I ain't the smartest cat in the world, Karl Anthony Town has to get more touches. He has to get more shots. Like in these games in this series, he's got to shoot the ball 20 times. Because if he makes 15 or 16 out of 20, now you're talking about that's 8 more points from him. Now he's got 25, 26. He's flirting with 30-point games. But to me, Karl Anthony Towns, I feel like it's nobody on that other side, no disrespect, that can guard him. And I think listen, Bronson's going to play the way he plays, but I think the adjustment for him is like, okay, I know I could get mines at any time. I've proven that. But when I'm trying to win this series, let me get it to Karl Anthony Town to get him going. Now, even when I do score, those buckets are easy. I feel like in the past, especially the last 3 years, Brunson has had to work too hard to get those playoff buckets that he's been getting. And we've seen it where over the years where they get to later rounds, he's gassed. He's got no gas left in the tank. So to me, it'd be smart moves to kind of play through Karl Anthony Towns a little bit. And then, just from the next standpoint, CJ McCollum's on fire. For me, anytime a Kongwa sets a ball screen, I'm going to blitz. I got to get the ball out of CJ's hands because he's too good, and I just think that it's not a favorable matchup for Bronson. I thought he just got where he wanted to against Bronson and shot over the top of him or went downhill on him. And they got to provide more support if that means firing or being more in the gaps, ready to close and rotate. It's got to be something a little bit different from the Knicks.
Yeah, the one thing that I've noticed is that, and I'm biased a little bit, but the one thing that I've noticed with these Knicks games is when Jalen Brunson subs out of the game, there's more offensive rhythm, there's more offensive flow. And as a coach, sometimes, especially an NBA coach, you can't always control that because the players make a lot of decisions now. The players have a voice. You can get fired if the main player of the franchise player isn't happy, and so that's their style, that's their system. And Jalen Brunson's going to have the ball in his hands, but there's more of an offensive flow and offensive rhythm when he's not in the game. So with that being said, you got to get Karl Anthony Towns touches. And even if he's not shooting the ball, he's getting double teamed early, right? And it's hard to double team in the fourth quarter. So now when you got Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns in the game together, it can flow a little bit better. But you still need to run the offense through Cat, number one. Number two, they're not even setting screens for CJ McCollum right now because nobody on the Knicks can guard him. Nobody. There's no defense. Whoever's guard him, he just like, hey, everybody else move. And so he's getting to the rack effortlessly, and he's creating for others. And we still haven't had breakout games from a supporting cast, and that's the scariest part about this series because you're going back home. There's going to be somebody who come off the bench for Atlanta because they're at home feeling comfortable. And Jalen Johnson, your boy, he's gonna put his name in the hat to let everybody know, like, I'm here. If you've been listening to this podcast, Chad has been ranting and raving about Jalen Johnson this entire year, talking about he wanted him once. I feel like this next game you see Atlanta play, it's gonna be official. Jalen Johnson is one of them ones. You're gonna find out. So I'll put my money on it right now. Whatever the over under is for Jalen Johnson, bet over. He's gonna have a career high when he steps back into that Hawks arena.
Yeah, no doubt, because they going home and that atmosphere is going to be live. They haven't been excited about playoff basketball in a few years now. So you already know how the ATL, how they get down. So it's going to be all the way live there. And I'm looking forward to seeing that game. And I'm going to predict Atlanta Hawks at the end of Friday, they're going to be up 2-1 in this series. 2-1 in this series.
Magic
2-1. You said Magic City? Magic
Magic
City.
City, baby.
Yeah.
Magic City, baby.
Lemon pepper. Lemon pepper. Lemon pepper.
Atlanta about to be popping.
But I will say this. I do think that the next game after that, the Knicks will, come back to life and then it'll be 2-2. But I do see that I do predict that for game three, Coach C Bell is saying it will be the Hawks. I think they have the momentum right now. Even if you go back and we'll move on, but even if you go back to game one, they lost that game, but it wasn't like a downer type of thing. I think they left game one. What helped them win game two, they knew, okay, we could have won that game. You know what I'm saying? And then they went into game two focused, and they just executed what they did well from game one, and they got the momentum right now.
Yeah, even if you watch game one, you notice that the score didn't dictate how the game was actually played. The game was a lot closer than the score actually leads you to believe. And that's what let me know right then and there. Game one let me know, oh, Atlanta's not afraid of these guys. And here's the crazy part. We both predicted Atlanta win game two in New York. That's the wildest part about this whole situation. And so now that
Yeah,
we're both agreeing that Atlanta's also going to win game three, I mean, I think it's going to happen. The only reason why I give Knicks a chance to win game four is because you got to go back. You can't go down 3-1. You can't. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason why I give them a puncher's chance to win this next game, but it's not happening. I'm rolling with Atlanta, and I feel like they're definitely going to come out with confidence, and it's going to be one of the best games they probably play all year. It'll be an amazing environment to be in because after the game is going
yeah,
down.
yeah. So I wanna push forward and just talk about. I know how you feel. Talk about the Cavs and the Raptors. And I'll go with my prediction. I don't see Toronto getting a game in this series. I think it's going to be a sweep, a clean sweep. But coach's adjustment, Coach C. Bill, coach's adjustment for the Toronto Raptors. If they want to win Game Three, they have to take care of the basketball. All right, they had way too many turnovers. They had 22 turnovers. You can't turn the ball over in the playoffs, and you certainly can't turn the ball over in a row, and you can't turn the ball over against the Cleveland Cavaliers with a player like James Harden is very, very dangerous. He's a magician. All right, you don't want to. You want to take the ball out of his hands and never put the ball into his hands. So that's something that the Toronto Raptors they should be watching. Their film session should have been just showing their turnovers. All right, I think that as good as Scotty Barnes played, he fought and clawed and RJ played, they had too many turnovers. I think them two together had almost 10 turnovers. So you want to keep those turnovers. I think if they can keep those turnovers down to about 11, 10, maybe no more than 12, that's going to get them more possessions where they can get up shots, but they have to take care of the basketball.
My coaching adjustment would be you see Cleveland wants to pace and space, right? And because you have home court advantage, you'll at least have that. So I'll give you an extra 3 points. Bet the under. It probably won't be a lot of scoring in this first game. If there's any chance that Toronto wins the game, this is their best chance because they go down 3-0, 1-2-3 Cancun. They're gonna be ready to get up out of here. They ain't got real hoopers like that. This ain't the year. We're gonna start over. You Milwaukee bucket it right now. Just start over. Number one. Number two, y'all not smart enough to run the triangle offense, but y'all need to slow it down. Y'all got to slow the game all the way down, and we need to make sure we run the shot clock. And if this game needs to be a time of possession game like football, it needs to be a time of possession game. I don't care if y'all getting shot clock violations. We just can't have a pace and space game and Cleveland just running up and down the court, knocking down wide open threes, dribble drives by Harden, throwing up lobs. You can't have that because you saw that the first two games. And whatever the defensive strategy was, it didn't work. So the offensive strategy for this next game is to be slow the game down. Force them to double team you guys. Put Brandon Ingram in a high-low situation. Give Scotty Barnes the ball. Let RJ Barrett go to work. You guys got three players that's really hard to guard, but you're not taking advantage of it. So, with that being said, no more excuses. Like in the Drew League, no excuses. Just produce, man. I
Just
don't want to hear no
produce.
more excuses. Just go out there and ball and try to get this game because if you don't get this game, we're not even talking about you anymore. You're irrelevant. Cancun.
Big homies mentality. That's how we roll, and that's how we do it around here, man. And I would like to talk about, man, that Nuggets Timberwolves series, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mm.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought that Minnesota was gonna be going back to many down 0-2, but they found a way, man. And Anthony Edwards, man, he just wills his team to victory, man. He just finds a way to get it done. And he's got that dog mentality that you just love to see in players, man. And they went and got it done on the road in Denver. And now, Thursday, they're going to be playing in Minnesota at the Target Center, game three, man, game three. So, what are your thoughts on that game three situation out there in Minnesota versus the Nuggets?
So it's the first game in Minnesota, and that's scary because they're coming off a big win. And I had Denver winning this last game. The crazy part is Denver doesn't match up well with Minnesota, and they have a hard time playing defense, right? Like their defense ranks in the bottom five of the NBA, like that. And they give Jamal Murray havoc. Like you talk about Jalen Brunson having to work for a shot. I've never seen Jamal Murray work harder to get his shot off, pause, like he does against Minnesota. It seems like it's a real struggle because every time he comes off some type of screen action where it's like, oh, okay, I'll just come off a screen. The switch is a better defender. It's a taller player than they originally put on him. And so I feel like maybe we don't have to go pick and roll for Jamal Murray, right? Maybe we don't have to come DHOs or him even come off double. They said double staggers for him. Maybe he doesn't have to do that. Maybe he can just ISO 1-on-1 against whoever they have him matched up as with a point guard. And then when I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute. I don't know if they being out coach, but a lot of times Anthony Edwards is guarding them. And so when they set the screen, it's because they're trying to get Anthony Edwards off of them. So now it's like, oh, so now we have a taller, defender guard you now, and he just looks very uncomfortable. And Rudy Gobert is doing a decent job against Jokic. Jokic needs to have one of those breakout games. Aaron Gordon needs to step up. I know he missed a lot of games this season. Blase, blase. We don't care about that in the playoffs, right?
Denver's problem is everything you said. It's defense. It's
Yeah.
defense. It's defense. Watching the post game interview with Jaden McDaniels, he said it. I mean, he was unapologetic about what he said. He said, "We just attacked
He
their
said it
weak
with his chest,
defenders," and he named all the
and
weak
all of them weak.
defenders. Yeah, he just and it just goes to the mentality of the Timberwolves. They're gonna attack the guys. If you're not gonna guard them, they're gonna attack matchups, and that's what playoff basketball is. And they did a heck of a job of doing that. And Anthony Edwards, hell of a game, 30 points. But Julius Randle, really solid game, 7 of 14 from the field, 24 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. That right there, that's what you need from Julius Randle. Jaden McDaniels had a really good game, 7 for 15. He didn't make a three, but he did a good job of getting in the paint. 14 points, really good outing by Jaden McDaniels. Dante DiVincenzo played game solid, 16 points. He was solid. These guys were very very solid, and they're a team that if they see any weakness on the defensive end, they're gonna attack. They're gonna attack. So for me, with the adjustment for Denver going into Game 3, they got to do a better job of defending, and they got to put Bruce Brown out there some more. He's won a championship with this team, left and came back. I don't think 16 minutes is enough for him. I think you got to get him out there. Out there, he's been proven that he can make threes, so that can't be the reason. He was 2 for 4 in that game. So Bruce Brown has to play more minutes, in my opinion, because he's a guy that's gonna, challenge Anthony Edwards more on the defensive end and scrap and claw. They don't got a lot of they don't got much defensively, so they got to put somebody out there that can do it.
I agree, man. This is when you know it's bad. When I don't even know if Bones Highland is on the team anymore. Is Bones Highland even still on the team?
He's with the Timberwolves now.
Right. And, and here's the crazy part. Bones,
And
I,
he
I didn't
had
even
he
know
had
Bones.
10 minutes, 13 points. Shout out to my boy Bones Highland, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like you got people like that coming off the bench putting in work. Julius Randle had the type of game that I expect Aaron Gordon to have. Right. I expect Aaron Gordon to step up in situations like that, and I honestly think he will. But for a lot of people out there just looking at the Anthony Edwards and the Jokic, like you're not going to be that guy, right? These are special athletes. Look at the Nas Reed type players. Look at the Luke Kennards. Look at the Nas Reeds of the world, the guys that do the dirty work, the guys that do the work that nobody really is thinking about, right? Like get out there and scrap. Nas Reed right now in this series is looking like an all-star. And he's not even putting up crazy stats, but he's doing the things to disrupt the games. He's making sure that you're not getting second chances on the boards. He's making sure that he's getting steals. He's defending like crazy. And every time they try to come off a switch to get Jamal Murray a different defender, Nas Reed is like, don't worry about it. I don't need no help. We ain't got a double team. I got this dude. Right? And Jamal Murray made his first All Star team this year. And right now, he doesn't look like an All Star. But the crazy part about somebody like Jamal Murray, you're not going to hold him down for 2 games in a row. You're not going to hold him down for a whole game. Jamal Murray's going to figure it out. He's going to find a way. I'm not worried about him. It's the role players that I'm worried about. So my defensive cue, my defensive tip for Denver is you got to run 2-3 zone. You got to run some type of zone. You got to switch it up, and you got to find ways to double team Anthony Edwards in the fourth quarter. You don't need to double team him 1 through 3 because he's going to get his regardless. But in the fourth quarter, you got to get the ball to Anthony Edwards' hands. They don't have a lot of shooters on Minnesota. So DiVincenzo is one of the dudes who's going to knock down some threes, right? So that's the only person that you don't help up off of. But Julius Randle, let him shoot it. Let him go right. You're not going to see it that often. The moral of the story is let them shoot threes. Double team Anthony Edwards 1 through 3 and figure out a way to get more touches for Jokic on the block, right? Jokic is a mismatch problem. He's the NBA's probably best player. Is one of the best players we ever seen. Probably the best player in the NBA, right? No shot, no disrespect to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Got to get Jokic the ball, right? It's got to flow through his hands and make the game easier. Make it simple. Hey, keep the main thing the main thing. That's what I would say. And since the defense is trash, find ways to get in and out of his zone.
Facts. And one person I want to mention who I thought was spectacular in this game, and he really influenced the team with his play was Dante DiVincenzo. He was very solid in 31 minutes of play. He had 16 points, 6 for 9 from the field, 4 for 7 from three. Then he also went and got 7 rebounds and he had 6 assists. That's perfect for him and getting the team flowing, getting guys their shots. And then at the same time, as we all know, he's a heavy 3-point threat. So I think that his play was stellar and he was the big reason everybody's talking about Ant. But I'm pretty sure Ant would tell you how important DiVincenzo play for him was that opened up his game and allowed him to score, 30 points in that win on the road in game two. Hey, so with game three, what's your prediction for game three? Remember, the game three is in Minnesota. What's your prediction?
Even though Game Three is in Minnesota, I think it's going to be a great game. If I had to bet the house, I would bet Minnesota. But something is telling me that Denver is going to pull off this W. Right? They're going to make the adjustments, and the Game Two was close. Like Denver had a chance to win the game. It just seemed like at the end of the game, the defense just wasn't top tier whatsoever. And I think they're going to make the adjustments. They're proven. They got vets on their team, and so I know they'll get it done. And the one thing about Denver is I don't feel like they're afraid to go on the road and get a W. Like it's like we just talked about Toronto. It's hard to win in Toronto. If you ever made that Toronto trip, you got to go through customs, and it's a different type of weather, different type of atmosphere. So it's a different kind of comfort level that you're just not used to, right? Like you're not flying a family out there because you don't want to be bored. So you just out there with your boys. Like I don't really like we just work together type stuff. Like that's what the Toronto trip feels like. But the Minnesota for Denver, they like we play each other all the time. It's not. It's an easy flight. Like if they wanted to in between games, they can go back home. So I don't feel like Minnesota really has home court advantage. The arena's going to be rocking. Don't get it tripping. Don't get it twisted. But I really feel like Denver could pull off a W in this next game.
Yeah, man. I'm going to have to agree with you there. And the main reason is Jokic. It comes down to Jokic. Jokic is a Hall of Famer, first ballot future Hall of Famer, and he ain't going out like that. And we've seen it every time there's a game that the Denver Nuggets lose. He comes out that next time out and he performs at a very high level. Man, it's gonna be must see TV. I don't know about you, Coach TFletch500, but on Friday. I'm gonna have my popcorn ready, man. I'm gonna have all my favorite snacks. We're gonna hey, we might order some pizza, me and the family that night, man, because it's gonna be must see TV. I can't wait for the games, man. And I know Jokic, I'm gonna say it. He's gonna put on a performance for the ages. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna put it out there.
Take the over under on the game. Take the over, and whatever the spread is on Jokic, take the over. He's I agree. He's gonna have a hell of a night, and he's gonna remind everybody why he's a generational talent. One of the best big men to ever play this game. I agree 100%. Jokic is about to put on the show.
This series is gonna go. It's gonna be a game seven series. I really like.
Ooh,
I like this matchup. I like this matchup, man, and it's
is
one
this
of
the
those.
best matchup round one? Is this the best matchup round one out of all the games?
I would say it's between them and the Knicks in Atlanta.
Okay.
But I love this. I love when these two teams play. They've developed that good healthy hate for one another too. It just I don't want to miss a play of this. I don't want to miss not
Yeah,
one
yeah.
play. I can't wait, bro. I can't wait. I'm looking
I
forward to it.
also I also like the little chippiness between Detroit and Orlando too. I feel like they don't
I
really care for
I
each
love
other.
that smoke. I love that smoke.
Yeah, I
I
feel like
love
they
that
don't care
smoke.
for each other.
Nah, they're definitely not swapping jerseys after the game. Boston, Philly, man. Philly did something I didn't expect them to do it. And shout out to Edgecombe, the rookie. He
Ooh, put
he's
on the show.
I love when you have rookies that don't play or act like rookies. Like
Oh
I've
yeah,
I've kind of followed him this year, and I since summer league, since he got drafted, I've never felt he's never given me that rookie energy. He's
right.
definitely not there to be a fan of other players. He's trying to get to it. And it's no surprise to me that Edgecombe had that type of performance, man. And I didn't expect the Sixers with not no Joel Embiid. I didn't expect them to go in Boston and get a victory, man. But like I said, I was with the mindset and I thought to myself, man, this is unpredictable because you asked me the question earlier, is this the most exciting opening round that you remember? I don't know, but it's damn sure the most unpredictable. And this game in particular was for sure unpredictable.
Trey Young, Trey
Yeah,
Young. When you think Philly, you don't think Trey Young. When you see VJ Edgecombe, you think Philly,
he fit he fit
right?
right in. He fit
He
right in.
fit perfect. Like he
He
riding through the streets on the dirt bikes with Meek Mill.
yeah yeah
Like he just and like
he
you
he
said,
he's a
there
dream chaser.
100%. He definitely gives me a Philly look, a Philly vibe, and all year this dude has not looked like a rookie. And yes, we have the great white hope in Dallas, but I feel like VJ Edgecombe is like, hey man, we still playing right now in the playoffs. And
Yeah,
like
don't
Jalen
forget about
Johnson,
me. I'm over here.
exactly, and like Jalen Johnson about to do, VJ Edgecombe about to let everybody know who they are. This is the way he played in a game two at Boston. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've never been to the Staples Center, if you've never been in the TD Garden, when you walk in and you look up and you see all those banners, and I hate to say it, but Boston has one more than us. They have one more championship better than us. It gets a little intimidating. And if you
Hmm.
talk about traditions and fan base, Boston's got them. And the refs ain't saying nothing. The officials, the security guards, nobody's saying anything, right? Like KG will tell you, Paul Pierce will tell you, if they wasn't from there, it'd be hard to play there, right? So playing in Boston ain't easy. And this is how he played in the game two at Boston. He put up career high numbers. He put up numbers that you go look back and be like, wait, if this is what he did his rookie year, you can expect this series to go game six, game seven. I'm still looking for an appearance out of Paul George. Like just one time. Like I feel like they just need you to give them one game, and it'll probably be game five because I feel like we obviously know it's not going to be a sweep. But if Paul George can step up game five and make a huge difference on the road when they go back to Boston, I think it'll be a tremendous help. Could you imagine what this series would look like if Joel Embiid was playing? Oh my God.
Uh,
We would have
now you're talking. That's my favorite series.
by far, yeah, 100%, 100%. Because we both said it. The Philadelphia 76ers are the biggest threat to any team in the East. The biggest threat with a healthy Joel Embiid. But he's not here, so I listen. Their point guard play, their point guard play is getting them over the hump. Tyrese Maxey looked unguardable. It was some step back threes he hit at the top of the key. Stepped back, hit a three, and just screamed in his face. And I said, oh yeah, this is Philly basketball right here in Boston. So imagine how they're gonna play Friday, right? Like that's another game that I'm really excited to see because personally, I don't ever want to see Boston win another game in my life. I'm just being honest.
Die hard
The
Laker
only way
fan.
I would have only way I want to see Boston win is if they get Chad Bell Jr. in the draft. That's the only way I want to see Boston win.
In the 2036 draft.
Right. It's the only way I'm saying, all right, let me see you
It's
ball
time
out,
now.
son. Yeah, now it's time. I can put my hate to the side for a minute. Because even when Paul was over there, when they played the Lakers, it was like, I hope Paul ball. That's
Yeah, that's it.
it.
That's it. That's it. No, you talked about the Boston Celtics fans. The Philly fans is crazy. Traveling on the road in the NBA. Those are two fan bases that's absolutely insane. It's gonna be crazy, man. I can't wait to watch Game Three, man. It's gonna be amazing. I think that the Celtics, their adjustment is, and I get we play an analytical game now. They shot 53s, 50. That is way too high for my comfort. And I think that some of those threes they got to convert to downhill attacks. I think that they can attack these guys. Obviously, they got talented scorers with Brown. Brown had 36 points. Tatum, all these guys. Derek White didn't play well, so I expect him in Game 3 to play better. But with those 3 point attempts, it was just way too high for me. And I think that the Boston Celtics should emphasize, get into the rim more. They got to get to the rim more, especially, being on that road. I think they should establish themselves in the paint offensively. And I think that will help them, in the next game. But I just think that for me, obviously, if you're making, that's the adjustment. If you're not making those threes, like, and you just keep shooting them, I think that Boston just completely shot themselves in the foot shooting that many 3 point attempts. And they had a total of 89 attempts in the game, so most of their field goal attempts were threes, which is it's just crazy to even think.
And with Joel Embiid being out, they have a size advantage in the paint, and there's no shot blockers. There's no real threat of getting to the rim and looking at
Wait,
Joel
no, no,
Embiid
no,
or
no, no. Hold on. This is what I do like what the Philadelphia 76ers did. Sorry to interrupt you. They do have Andre Drummond down there. Now that is, and I thought he was really good. And what I like what Philly did, I love what Nick Nurse did. He had those three guys on the bench. They that played. He had three guys on the bench that played 20 plus minutes, and they were phenomenal. Andre Drummond was really good for them. Playing 26 minutes, had 10 points, 8 rebounds. Um, Justin Edwards came in, played 22. He was solid. He was a +8 on the plus minus charts. And then Quentin Grimes came in, +7 on the plus minus charts. So he was solid. So, but agreeing to your point, though, disagreeing to agree, when Andre Drummond is not out there, they gotta attack downhill. They gotta get downhill. They gotta find a way to get in the paint.
I love the Nick Nurse adjustments, and I feel like he's a proven coach. And right now, this may be one of his biggest coaching adjustments that he's gonna make in this series because being able to beat a team like Boston will put a dude like Nick Nurse back on the map. Ever since he left Toronto or was let go from Toronto. Um, I saw Andre Drummond play in the Drew League maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And my man not only hit 5 threes, but he was getting rebounds. He was bringing the ball up, looking like a point guard. Like I think people don't really understand how good NBA players are. So no
Mm-hmm.
disrespect to Andre Drummond. I feel like Andre Drummond is one of those dudes that when he played for the Lakers, he didn't get a fair chance. He was highly criticized. But in a Philly role, it's a great position for him to be in, right? Um, Boston has to do a better job of attacking the basket. But like I said in the other series with Denver, they got a lot of light skins, man. And when you go in against a Philly type team, it's gonna be hard to match up with them dudes when they not focused on shooting threes. They focus on going at your net, and that's what they did in Game 2. Now it's not gonna get any easier going back to Philly, but I do think a lot of those shots fall. Once they get into a comfortable rhythm, and that makes them the biggest threat in the East to me because when they knock it down threes, I don't feel like there's anything you really can do to beat them, right? You just don't have enough forces to throw at those guys. And if Tatum is playing basketball like he's supposed to, they're unstoppable. Because Jalen Brown right now is looking like an MVP candidate every single game. He's looking like a mismatch every single game. And if Tatum is clicking with him, and then you get White and Pritchard also knocking down threes, they're just tough cover, man. They're one of the toughest covers in the league. But you got to make those adjustments when you're not knocking down those open shots. And so I'm gonna go out on a limb. If I had to bet the house, I would say Boston. But if I really just wanted to put some cash down on it and give you my honest opinion, I think Philly is gonna win the first game at home.
Oh, say it with your chest.
Yep, especially after that last performance.
I'm going to disagree. I think that
I said if
I
I had to
think
bet the house on it, I'm going Boston.
I think the Celtics are going to get their mind right, get themselves together. I don't think they shoot the ball that bad again, even on the road. And I think that they're going to come out in game three and take care of business. However, I do think that that series is going to be tied back up because I don't think Philly gets out of there and goes 0-2 at home. They're going to win. This is a series. I won't say it, but it's threatening to possibly be a game seven. I don't quite know yet. It's looking like a game six right now. But I love the way that I love when guys fight, man. I love when guys don't give themselves excuses. You talked about excuses earlier. They're not feeling sorry for themselves because their center is not available. Their former MVP is not available. They're doing what they got to do, and I love the way Edgecombe steps up. Hey, it's all about this time of the year. Step up. Everybody has to step up. I expect in the next couple of games Paul George to have a good outing as well. But I just don't. Once again, I don't see the Celtics shooting the ball that bad 2 games in a row. I think they'll find their rhythm.
I don't know, and maybe we can talk about it later once we find out. But is Joel Embiid out for the season? Like, is there any sort of timetable for him to make a playoff appearance? Because if he can make an appearance in this series, that's a whole different aspect to how I look at this series because he's what Carl Anthony Towns is for the Knicks. He is a mismatch problem, right? And he doesn't even have to come back as the number one or the number two guy. He literally could be the third player in the team. Almost how like the Lakers got through the regular season with LeBron James being third option, and it just worked out. If Joel Embiid comes back and he's your third option, you're the biggest threat in the East. Once again, just like that. So I don't know if Joel Embiid is out for the season. I don't even know how he got hurt because I think at this point we're just accustomed to Joel Embiid being hurt.
Facts. It's I think it's his appendix, and they said there's no official return timetable. NBA playoffs return is uncertain as of April 20th, which is 2 days ago. He has not returned to basketball activities, so that's not a good sign. Because
That's not a
as
good
you
sign at all.
know, basketball, you have to have the conditioning. You got to be on some type of treadmill or at least doing your pool workouts, some type of bike regimen, some type of light workouts with your player development coaches as well as performance staff. And that means he hasn't done that as of 2 days ago. And hopefully, maybe it's changed in the last 48 hours. But, uh, next man up, and the beautiful part about it is to have Andre Drummond. I think Andre Drummond is not appreciated enough, especially in this small ball era. I think if Andre Drummond played in a different era, he would be more appreciated. But next man up, and they got enough. They got enough to compete.
Andre Drummond is underappreciated, maybe not undervalued, but underappreciated.
Definitely. And last and certainly not least, man, the Spurs Trailblazers series. The Trailblazers was able to tie that one up. When Wemby went down after playing 12 minutes with a concussion. Not sure what his status is, but shout out to the Trailblazers. Shout out to former San Antonio Spurs, Tiago Splinter, coaching that team as an intern coach. Made a comment the other day that he's just being professional as possible although the Trailblazers are fielding interest from other coaches and trying to interview for that position. But the Trailblazers went out there on the road and they handled their business, man. Scotty Scoot Henderson, 31 points, man. This is a guy that's been talked about for years with the Trailblazers, who they drafted in the lottery years ago. Former G League Ignite played for former Inglewood High and Westchester point guard Jason Hart with the Inglewood Knight Las Vegas at G League Ignite. And it's good to see a guy. Well, let me just say this from big homie perspective. It's good to see a guy that people have been waiting to turn the corner finally had this moment. And you know it like I know it, Coach T Fletch. You don't have these moments if you're not doing the preparation behind the scenes. You don't just come out one day in an NBA playoff game and score 31 points on happenstance. That's from continuous work. I know people who have coached this kid, not kid, young man, and they say he's a relentless worker. So I always get happy and excited when the game rewards you back. And I tell people all the time, I tell young people all the time, are you willing to put in 2 years of work and not actually see what you're looking for, but continue to work every day? So shout out to Scoot Henderson to be able to have that type of game. And I hope he can continue to build on that momentum because he's a heck of a player. And I think that he can continue to contribute to this franchise.
De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle got to put the team on their back, and I think it's possible, right? Because all year they kind of been like the Robins to Wimby, right? But at the same time, whenever you watch these guys play, they are a problem, right? They are a handful to handle, and I don't know if Portland Trailblazers can keep up the type of momentum they play with this last game. But I do know not having Wimby in the game, it kind of gives you a little extra edge mentally to like be a little more aggressive by driving the basketball and getting in the paint. And paint touches right now is something that San Antonio has never had to really worry about because you have Victor Wembanyama back there creating shots, changing shots and players driving the basketball on a whole different level. Like you don't want to drive to the paint. Sometimes people drive in there and hit a U-turn and be like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and start to set the offense up. Maybe we might even run a play. But if he's down there in the paint, I'm not attacking the basket like that. Without him in the game, it's a whole different type of defensive mentality you have to have. And so
Mm.
you talked about Tiago Splitter, who also is uh, basically a prodigy of Greg Popovich, right? So him playing against the San Antonio Spurs gives him a mental edge of something that he really wants to do. You something that you really want to step up to the table and kind of prove yourself, right? And if you can pull off a first round victory over the Spurs, oh please believe the coaching search is over. you have found your next head coach if you manage to get your way out of the first round series. So that's a little bit of motivation for him. But to go back to Scoot Henderson, I want to give a big shout out to Scoot Henderson because the first few years of his career, he got a lot of criticism for not living up to the expectation, the hype that everybody kind of put on him. Right? I think he was drafted second overall. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was drafted second overall, but he did play for Inglewood native Jason Hart, who played at Westchester, also played at Inglewood High School. Thomas Scott, and you know who his point guard was when he was playing with the G League Ignite. One of his point guards is somebody that we grew up with, Pooh Jeter.
Boo Jetter, who's his assistant
Pooh
coach
Jeter.
with the Portland
Yep,
Trailblazers.
exactly. I love it. I love it. So it's a small world. So I love being able to give shout out to the Inglewood natives, but I think Scoot Henderson is one of those guards who is unpredictable. He's like a young Ja Morant. You don't really know how to guard him because sometimes his jumper can be hit or miss. But when he's on fire, he's a tough cover because if he gets in the lane, it's a problem. He'll live in the lane against your defense. And so not having somebody like Wimby out there makes Scoot Henderson a triple threat. And so I think this series really just got exciting because if you don't have a Wimby and you lose game two at home and you lose home court advantage, Portland Trailblazers got all the confidence in the world right now. Plus, Portland is one of those teams, they literally have nothing to lose.
But that's just a dangerous place to be in for San Antonio, playing against a team that has no fear, and then you don't have Wimby. But you touched on something, man. It comes down to Darren Fox. Look, Darren Fox been around the league a long time. He was up in Sacramento. They finally started to turn the corner there, and then things kind of unraveled when Coach Brown was released, and now he's in San Antonio. Yeah, Wimby might be down, but you know Darren has to take the lead on this team, man. He's the guy with the most experience. He's the guy that's been around, so he's got to step up his play and just take the lead, take the charge. He's still a player. He's still a threat in transition, using his speed. He's still a threat leading his team. Getting guys involved and causing havoc on the defensive end. He's got to be that guy because you don't want to go up to Portland and lose both games. Definitely now you're down 3-1, and then you don't want to go up to Portland and not be able to handle your business. So, but I will say this. I will say this. Friday, Portland Trailblazers is going to win, and they're going to be up 2 games to 1 on the San Antonio Spurs. I'm going to go roll with Portland
Wow.
because what
All
the
right.
reason why I say this because um, Portland, they have nothing to lose and they're feeling really good. When you're in a certain place right now, like you think about a guy like Scoot Henderson, he's feeling really good. His confidence is high. Now you're going back to the crib, and you've already had that success. And that place, another place, they get real excited up there in Portland. It's gonna be rocking, man. It's gonna be rocking, and they going I think that they're gonna get it done on Friday night, man.
Yeah, Portland's got a serious history that I've always appreciated going back to Clyde Drexler. I just watched the documentary of Joe Blazers last night, and I forgot how rocking they was with Rasheed Wallace back then. You know, they had Rasheed Wallace. They even got Zach Randall over there, young Zach Randall, Monzy Wells. Like, they had some guys. I totally forgot that they brought over Sean Kemp. They brought Sean Kemp over there. He didn't even make it through the
Mm.
whole season. That's how they was wilding that much over there. It was out of control. I can't imagine where the Portland Trailblazers would have been at this year if they would have had Dame time, right? And so this is a team right now that's they got something going, right? And I think that going into this next game, you go into it with no fear, but you have to have guys on the opposing team step up, like a Luke Cornett, Sham Penny, or Harrison Barnes, right? All of these guys have to step up, and they play system basketball, so it's easy to kind of like plug and play. It's not something that's going to be new for them in their roles. Not having Victor Wembanyama, yes, it's going to be an issue, but I still see them being able to pull this game out on the road for the first victory. And I see San Antonio going up 2-1. But I do think that we come back to San Antonio with the series tied. Even if they don't win this next game, I think Portland will still be able to get a game, and this series should be 2-2 when we come back to San Antonio.
Absolutely, no doubt, man. That's gonna be another one, fun one to watch.
Last question, and here's a coach question for you. If you have the opportunity to take, if the Golden State job opens up, to take the Golden State job or the Chicago Bulls job, which Chicago Bulls, stadium sales been selling out for the last 20 years. Every game sold out. Which game is more intriguing or enticing to you? Would you take the Golden State Warriors job or would you take the Chicago Bulls job?
Mm, that's just a tough one because Steph Curry is still there, so and they have a dynasty in what they built there. And then you look at Chicago, I look at it as a blank canvas. On one
You can
end,
win in the East too.
yeah, on one end you look at uh, what they've done in the past in the '90s. So you you can do something special there if you build it. And then on the other end, I look at the Golden State situation where, opportunity to coach Steph Curry and then build around some youthful pieces is intriguing there as well. But I feel like uh, I'm big on going to build something special from the ground. And that's just how I
Right.
am. I don't think
Same.
I don't think it's a wrong answer for what you just asked me. But for me and my mentality, I want to go to the beautiful city of Chicago. I want to
Mm-hmm.
immerse myself into that community as much as possible. I want to wear a Bull shirt or jacket or whatever every day I'm there. I want to have my
Yeah.
family fully like we here, you know. Hey, hey, coach, take that hat off. We Bulls now. We moving
Right.
like we love our city, but we about to go put on for our city in Chicago. You see what I'm saying? So
Uh, some big homie advice is, let's say that you were to take the Chicago job, which I would take as well. I'm not taking the Golden State job, especially because you got Oklahoma, you got San Antonio is going to be powerhouses for the next 4 to 5 years. For the Chicago ownership, man, you got money to blow. If you need some consultation, He said, management, reach out to us, man. That's what we're here for. We got nothing but game, nothing but tunes to drop for you, and y'all got nothing but money to spend. Holler at us, man. We got great ideas for you, man. Chad Bell, I appreciate you, man. You are a blessing. I know you got a
Appreciate you, my
busy day,
brother.
got stuff to do. Yeah, man. Let's go ahead and look forward to these next couple of games. And like I said, I'll be at home on Friday.
Yes, sir. Always a good one, man. I love doing this, man. The NBA edition of the Big Homies podcast, man. Looking forward to the next one. Gonna be watching these games. I'm also gonna be home on Friday, watching
Yep.
those games, man. Always appreciate you, Coach T Fletch 500.
Hey, listen, you already know, man. If the game come on at 7:30 West Coast time, I'm not available because my business hours are from.
9 to 5.
Know that. Know that. Y'all God bless and have a great day, man.
Hey, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me at Coach C Bell on Instagram. You can follow my boy T Fletch 500 at T Fletch 500 on Instagram. Please, please make sure you share our channel. We appreciate all your support. Peace and blessing. We out.